All murders are bad, but this is a real bad murder.
These Miami detectives are investigating the most horrifying crime scene of their careers, where a young woman and her 2-year-old son were slaughtered in their own home.
The whole side of his face gone from an AK-47 round. No matter how many dead bodies you've seen, you see a 2-year-old, it kind of like throw you off.
It's tragic when it's a child, especially a child who's in bed in his home where he's supposed to be safe.
Over 70 bullets were fired at a single house, but the detectives soon realized this was not the killer's first gruesome act.
He comes up, shooting and shooting and shooting.
He shot 30 rounds in 7 seconds.
As investigators followed the trail of suspects, they uncovered something far more disturbing than they had imagined.
This guy's a character. He wants to save his own skin. That's all he's doing.
December 14th, 2010. It was a quiet night, just past 1 a.m., when the silence on Northwest 73rd Street, in the Model City neighborhood of Miami, was abruptly broken by the sound of gunfire. A 911 call was placed shortly after.
Somebody shot? Somebody shot my car. You see the person who did the shooting, sir? I don't know. I was in the street. You have the police on the way.
We're trying to get a clear picture, get an indication of what actually happened.
Police arrived, knowing it was a crime scene, but the extent of what they uncovered there would haunt them forever. Amid the scattered toys and storybooks, more than 70 rounds were fired, targeting 24-year-old Sierra Lee and her donor.
Basically circles the entire house.
The back room where they're
at. 2-year-old son, Devin someone had gone to lengths to wipe out the entire family.
The whole side of his face gone from an AK-47 round.
This is incredible.
The baby's what gets me.
The investigators recovered bullets from multiple firearms, confirming that more than one shooter was involved.
A lot of rounds were fired from just this side.
We're like past 60 now.
Right now, we really don't have a motive for this at all. We're hoping either the individuals that were in the house or somebody will give us an indication as to why this happened.
Apart from Sarah and Devin, there were 2 more people in the house at the time of the attack. Carrara's cousin Tony Lee and Devin's father Andrew Franklin. Tony was shot in the leg but survived. The father was unharmed, but Carrara and Devin weren't nearly as lucky. Little Devin's body bore multiple shots. He died right there in his mother's arms, who was probably dead before him.
May rest in peace.
No matter how many dead bodies you've seen, you see a 2-year-old, it kind of like throw you off. And I think we're all thrown off to a certain extent. We get in our thoughts, we're going to do what we need to do.
All right, everyone's cleared from the scene. Baby's mother was state correction officer. So all gloves come off for this. She's on our team. You want to go?
Danny, I'll do this.
Call you soon as I just
Sarah was a corrections officer. She was taken down by the same violence she worked against. The brutality of the attack suggested a personal vendetta against law enforcement. Or was it something else entirely?
Let's go! Let's go on the road, hey! Let's go! They shoot your women and your children! Let's go!
A case like this, there's a big coming together of everyone. It's tragic when it's a child, especially a child who's in bed in his home where he's supposed to be safe.
Detectives began the investigation with the surviving victims of the night, sensing they might know who would want their family dead at any cost.
This is Devin's father and Sierra Lee's boyfriend. So if he was the intended target, hopefully he'll tell us something. We just got to see what happens.
First on the list was Andrew Franklin, Davone's father. He was in the house at the time of the shooting, and he witnessed his wife and child die in front of his eyes.
Sorry about your long time. Damn, I'm asleep, man.
Let's start from the beginning of the night, man. What happened?
I heard like 5 shots. They were shooting at the window.
Andrew reported that he'd been sleeping in the very room where the nightmare unfolded. The same room where Carrara and little Davon were brutally gunned down. Detectives believed he would be the key to unlocking the truth, the one person who could reveal what really happened that night. But little did they know someone else would help them uncover the truth.
I kind of pushed her over, grabbed my son and kind of, fell off the bed. And then I just heard pop, 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 shooting the whole apartment up. I had my son. My son got shot. I checked on Sierra. She was like trying to gasp, but damn.
I'm a father. I couldn't even imagine myself sitting where you're sitting right now. We have the job to find out who did this. But we need help. Did you have a problem today when you went out?
Not at all. I don't have no problem with nobody.
How about your girl?
Not at all.
Nobody's threatening her?
Nobody never threatened her. She never even had a fight before in her life.
Andrew informed detectives that they led a peaceful life, stayed to themselves, and held no current beef toward anyone. What was strange was that over 70 shots were fired on the family that didn't even have any explicit animosity.
So why you think that house would have got hit the way it got hit?
I have no idea. That was too crazy. And for me to lose my. This feel like a dream. My little boy was so smart. What city he from, what state, knew his birthday. So smart for 2. So he's only 2. It's gonna be hard, boy.
From Andrew's interview, the police got the impression that he was unlikely to be involved. His calm demeanor, consistent statements, and lack of any clear motive made him seem less suspicious in their eyes.
I don't think he knows who the shooter was, and I don't think he was the intended target.
Andrew gave detectives no solid lead to move forward. So next, they brought in Sierra's cousin, Tony, the other survivor in the house, hoping he would unravel the truth.
Who do you think the intended target in that house was?
Remember, bro, he dealing drugs, so it got to be Chuck.
In the next moment, another name was revealed, one that would completely change the course.
Chuck got beat with somebody about drugs or money or whatnot, and they came inside our house up because of what he doing.
How deep is Chuck in the game? Would you say he's a big timer?
Yeah.
All right, give me a minute, okay?
Chuck had been living with Carrera's family at the time, and the cousin's revelation turned the whole case. What if Carrera and Devin weren't the intended targets? What if the real target was Chuck, the only one who was not at home at the time of the attack? The chilling realization twisted everything. Carrera and little Devin could have been nothing more than innocent bystanders, caught in a deadly game meant for someone else. After the cousin dropped Chuck's name, the detectives immediately shifted their focus to him. If he actually was the real target, Chuck's involvement might be the missing link to this horrifying chain of events.
He's got a couple convictions here for sale of narcotics.
It's all related.
Hello? What did they say? I'm doing the interviews with Silva, and this may be tied in. You remember his case when he tried to attack the captain? Mm-hmm. It turns out the brother of all the people that lived there, his name's Chuck Boyd. Chuck might be our intended target.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
It really started to look like they came for Chuck. They didn't get him, and they just decided to shoot into the house because his relatives live here.
According to a neighbor, Sar had only just moved into the house, still in the process of settling in when tragedy struck. Her sudden death became even more heartbreaking in light of this, as detectives combed through the house, the uncovered evidence that intensified their suspicions about Chuck, pulling him deeper into the case.
This was in the home where the victim was killed, but it was in the room of Chuck Boyd, 50s. During the search of the home and in his room, we find all this money, plus a large amount of narcotics, cocaine, crack, and...
Just as detectives were piecing things together, they received a call that Chuck had been found. The man who might hold the answers they desperately needed was finally within reach.
Investigators from Miami-Dade has located Chuck for us. He should know who's trying to kill him. We'll find out real soon because he's on his way in.
Chuck was finally brought in for questioning. Detectives knew this was their chance. The man who could either reveal the truth or bury it even deeper was now in front of them.
How you doing, sir?
Obviously, you know what we want to talk about, right?
Yeah. I don't really have nothing to talk about really on this situation because I don't know what's going on.
That's your family there, right?
Man, I promise you, man, I would never, ever bring no trade to my house. Ever.
But it's there.
Which I have no understanding what's going on.
Let me tell you how they shot the house up there.
I want to know.
They went from the first window where the kitchen at, lit that up about 15 times. Then they slid down to the next window, another 15 times. Next window, went around the back, next window. You feel me?
I understand.
When was the last time you was at the house?
I don't stay there.
Nothing in there belongs to you?
That's where I put my clothes at.
Why did all this heat come to your house?
Suspicions and his demeanor raised more red flags than answers. And just as the case seemed to stall, one detective remembered a crucial detail, something that could tighten the noose around Chuck even more.
I just remember something. Chuck has been shot at 3 or 4 times already. They call him Bumblebee.
This wasn't the first time Chuck had been the target of a shooting. The previous shooting had claimed the life of 45-year-old Kenneth Battle. And now, detectives were starting to see a connection, one that could tie his violent past directly to Sierra's murder.
He comes up, starts shooting, then he moves, shooting and shooting and shooting. He shot 30 rounds in 7 seconds.
As the investigation unfolded, detectives discovered that Kenneth had once worked for Chuck Boyd. According to an informant, the hit was actually meant for Chuck, but the case was never solved.
Looks like we got a gun inside the car. Looks like some... Had a guy that came in here and provided me information. And Chuck is supposedly running drugs where the murder occurred, where the baby was killed. This is ongoing, the same players, and all we need to do is connect the dots. And it's come forward.
With this new information in hand, the police returned to the interrogation room. When questioned about the previous shooting, Chuck claimed he had no idea why the house was attacked.
We don't care about dope. We don't care about money. All I want is for you to be straight up on a murder on one of your friends.
Kenny Bethel.
Kenny Bethel. You know what Bethel does?
I know what Bethel was doing.
You're in business together, right?
Never that.
This is all related, brother.
But
This is all related. I'm trying to, I'm trying to lead you a path to open your eyes, and you're playing games with me. That's the bottom line.
You scared though?
What?
You didn't show your face anywhere in Miami right now?
We're looking for him.
Are you trying to find out?
And I'm trying to find out too.
So let's take a guess. What do we think? What's the word in the street right now?
Man, I got as tight as I do, man.
Chance to eavesdrop, hoping to catch something that could finally crack the case wide open.
It would be the one break we need, desperately need.
Hey, what's been going on over there, man? Who was out working? The whole night crew was out there? And what's the verdict on the other end?
According to a source, word on the street was that a local gang was involved in the shooting, and based on the detectives' previous encounters with this gang, it seemed entirely possible the pieces were slowly starting to fall into place.
This group has the history of going up to all the drug holes and taxing them. They're ripping up the holes. Possibly they're trying to collect taxes from Chuck, and Chuck ain't gonna do it. It's getting really nasty.
Right now, through the inmate, been able to identify some witnesses that were actually out there when this took place.
With this new lead, the team hit the streets, Determined to track down the men the victim had identified, one by one they brought them in, hoping to finally get the answers they needed. By the end of the sweep, 4 men were brought in for questioning. Each one is a potential key to unlocking the truth behind the brutal shooting. The detectives began interrogating known gang members.
You know why we're here?
Somebody report too.
Did you see anything, anybody drive up?
I didn't see none.
We got word that you was out there the night that it happened, man.
I wasn't out there, that's what I'm saying. Anybody could tell you I was out there because they know I'd be out there, but I wasn't out there.
You understand a 2-year-old boy got killed, right?
Look.
This is not a regular murder. There was a mother and a baby that was shot and killed at that house. I know you were there. Tell me what you saw. Okay? Okay.
No, it was a black Magnum with dark tinted window. Poor dude jumped out.
During questioning, one of the gang members revealed a chilling detail. On the night of the shooting, he saw 4 men step out of a black Magnum, armed with AK-47s. But there was one problem.
I don't know, they robbed and police and whatever. So I go the other way, and that's why I hear all types of shots.
Let me stop you, man. You saw the face?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Because the information that he gave us is consistent with the evidence we have at the crime scene. So now we just need to figure out which one of these gangbangers is driving a black Magnum.
Even though he didn't see their faces, he spotted something that could crack the case: the black Magnum. That car was now the detective's best lead. New information emerged. A patrol officer contacted them with a fresh tip. A source from the streets had come forward with potentially game-changing intel.
Go ahead and give us the information you got.
He said he assumed that Marcus Alexander did the shooting at the correction officer's house.
A new name emerged: 20-year-old DeMarcus Alexander, well known to the police. He was no stranger to criminal activity. According to a confidential informant, DeMarcus claimed that Chuck Boyd was the one behind the house shooting.
He said that Marcus Alexander's house got shot up prior to the shooting of the correction officer's house.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, bye.
When detectives searched DeMarcus Alexander in their database, they uncovered something: a big connection that could finally bring them closer to the truth. DeMarcus Alexander was linked to the infamous Black Magnum, the exact vehicle suspected to be involved in the house shoot.
Let's see where I go with this.
What you got? DeMarcus Alexander's mom has a black Magnum. Oh my God. That's beautiful.
That's tight work.
Real tight work.
All right.
With this new lead, detectives set out to locate DeMarcus Alexander's Black Magnum, hoping it could be the missing piece that finally tied him to the crime.
It's down right now. You see the bullet holes right there?
Yeah, I see him, but they didn't shoot it up that good.
Bullets right there.
Though detectives couldn't locate the Black Magnum, they did find something significant. The markings confirmed that a shooting had taken place, further strengthening the link between DeMarcus and the crime. Just as the detectives were pursuing their new lead, another one unexpectedly surfaced, one that could potentially change everything.
I'm pretty confident that's going to be our weapons. This is huge.
Detectives couldn't locate the Black Magnum. They did find something significant. The markings confirmed that a shooting had taken place, further strengthening the link between DeMarcus and the crime.
We gotta keep looking, bro. We have to keep looking. See that bag up there? Two more rounds. Oh yeah, baby. Those are all the 223 rounds, like the ones that are on the scene.
We're expecting also to see the high-powered rifles that were used in our murder, but they're not here.